I'm going a little bit crazy. Hey Star Trek fans, Dan Gunther here, and it's been a trying few weeks for all of us out there. I know a lot of us are trapped indoors, a lot of us also don't have the option and are, necessary workers that have to be out and about. But hopefully whatever you're doing, you're keeping you and your family as safe as possible during this very difficult period of time. I know for me that involves watching Star Trek and FaceTiming with friends and doing the Zoom meeting thing and that sort of thing, but it's a little tough to kind of maintain your sanity. So in that vein, I thought it might be fun to count down the top 5 episodes, in my opinion, that feature characters in the Star Trek universe going a little bit nuts, going crazy, kind of losing it a bit.
Lose it. It means go crazy. Nuts. Insane. Bonzo. No longer in possession of one's faculties. 3 fries short of a happy meal. Wacko!
Now, before I go any further, I do want to acknowledge that I'm not intending to make fun of true mental health difficulties that people are having. This is just meant in fun and in jest, and not meant to make light of people who are actually suffering with severe mental health issues and that sort of thing. So as usual, if you find yourself in that position, please take care of yourself. Do what you can to maintain your mental health and keep yourself sane and happy during this tough time. But with that said, here we go. The top 5 episodes that feature Star Trek characters losing their minds. So number 5 is a little bit of a cheat in that none of our characters technically go nuts in this episode. This is Whom Gods Destroy from the 3rd season of the original series, in which the Enterprise pays a visit to Elba 2, a mental institution that former fleet captain Garth is currently incarcerated at. Garth has learned the ability to shapeshift into different forms, and at one point he takes the form of Captain Kirk, which means we get to see William Shatner do this. Now, again, this isn't strictly speaking Kirk going crazy, but Captain Garth in his already mentally compromised state taking on the form of Kirk. So a little bit of a cheat there, but Shatner's performance is just too great to not have on this list. Number 4 is a particularly creepy episode from Star Trek The Next Generation's 4th season, Night Terrors, in which the Enterprise becomes trapped in a Titan's rift, which is causing the Enterprise crew to lose the ability to get to REM sleep, rapid eye movement, and therefore they are not dreaming at night. This is causing them to slowly lose their grip on reality. There are a number of freaky scenes in the episode, including Captain Picard hearing somebody trying to get his attention and get into the ready room by ringing his doorbell, and there's nobody actually there. And then, of course, this scene with Dr. Crusher in a makeshift morgue in the cargo bay, in which the bodies come to life and freak her out. Each of the crew members seems to have kind of a different reaction to this slow loss of a grip on reality, and it definitely is an unnerving episode. Number 3 is an episode from Star Trek Enterprise's 3rd season, Doctor's Orders, in which the Enterprise must traverse a region of space that is detrimental to the health of the crew, and Phlox is the only one left awake. During the course of this episode, Phlox hallucinates a number of things. This is an interesting bit of continuity because in an earlier episode, Exile, Phlox told Hoshi Sato that Denobulans see hallucinating as therapeutic and kind of a healthy way for the mind to deal with stress. So, that was just a really neat little continuity touchstone that close viewers of the show that are watching along will definitely pick up on that and realize that much of what Phlox is seeing is in his mind only. And the realization of one particular aspect of what he's been seeing at the end of the episode is definitely an interesting reveal for the audience. So if you haven't seen that, I won't totally ruin that. I've probably already kind of ruined that a bit, but check out that episode. It's really good. Now, this episode does get a bit of criticism because it is kind of a retread of an episode that Voyager did, and that episode is number 2 on the list, and that's the episode 1. Very similarly, Voyager must traverse a radioactive area of space, a nebula that would have detrimental effects on the crew. Most of the crew is put into stasis to deal with it. However, 7 of 9 is able to withstand the effects. And also the Doctor, of course, is able to be up and around and active during this period as well. Now, what makes this story interesting is, of course, the nature of 7 of 9, having formerly been part of the collective. She is used to, millions of voices in her head all talking. So the idea of her being completely isolated by herself with not even the Voyager crew of 100 and some to keep her company, but just her and the Doctor. And then at one point, the Doctor actually goes offline and she's left to fend for herself completely alone. Makes for a very creepy episode, and one particularly fitting for the social isolation that a lot of us find ourselves in now. Now, before I get to the number 1 pick for an episode in which a member of the crew goes nuts, I'd like to bring up some honorable mentions here. So first of all, the original series episode, Is There in Truth No Beauty?, in which the Medusan ambassador comes on board, and Medusans are reputed to be so ugly that a humanoid viewing them will go completely insane. And of course, in the course of the episode, Spock is exposed to Ambassador Kolos, his true form, and he does briefly go insane as well. So a very good representation of some temporary insanity there. I'd also like to bring up the TNG episode Remember Me, in which Dr. Crusher doesn't actually go crazy, but briefly thinks she might be going crazy when she becomes trapped in a warp bubble pocket universe thing. And one by one, the crew of the Enterprise around her disappears until she finds herself all alone on the Enterprise in a universe that is rapidly collapsing on itself. So another great episode with a strong feeling of isolation, which feels kind of apropos to what we're going through today. And finally, Dramatis Personae from Deep Space Nine's first season, in which the Deep Space Nine crew is influenced by telepathic memory spheres, and they all are kind of playing a part in this drama that unfolded on the planet with 2 rival factions facing off. It seems that the crew's going insane. Odo's the only one that seems really immune to this, so from his perspective, everyone's just kind of going nuts.
My name will blaze across the stars long after your petty treacheries have been forgotten.
But you won't be here to see it.
So the number 1 episode from Star Trek that features a crew member going insane has to be from Star Trek The Next Generation, Season 6, Frame of Mind. This is just a really great psychological episode. Jonathan Frakes as Commander Riker is front and center in this one, as he slowly kind of loses his grip on what's real and what isn't real, as he incorporates memories of doing a play about a mental health institution, one of Dr. Crusher's plays that she puts on, and this mission to Talonis that he's been on and in which he's been captured. At the end of the episode, we realize, not all is as it has seemed throughout the episode, and so much of it is happening in Riker's mind, and he's just totally going nuts. Really great episode, really interesting visuals, and a great performance by Jonathan Frakes as well. So those are my top 5 picks for episodes that feature crew members going insane. What did you think of that list? Were there any that I missed that you would have included? Let me know in the comments. I really implore everybody out there, stay safe, stay sane, reach out to friends and family, talk to them. Do what you need to do to remain healthy during this period, both physically and mentally. We'll all get through this together with a huge dose of Star Trek to help us through it. So thank you so much for watching. Thanks to the Patreon supporters for helping bring this video to you. I really do appreciate it. Couldn't do it without you. I'm going to be working on doing more videos. I've had, as maybe the topic of this video would indicate, I've had a little bit of mental health issues lately with just kind of being motivated and that kind of thing. But I'm working hard on bringing new content to you, and hopefully we can have more of that soon. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. As always, until next time, live long and prosper.